Once upon a time, in the eastern part of Nigeria in West Africa, the sun cast a golden glow over the small town of Umuadim, painting the houses in hues of warmth as the people carried on with the hustle and bustle of their daily lives. In this little town lived a simple family, the family of Mr. and Mrs. Okoro. They had two daughters, Ugoma and Ezin. Their children were the joy of their lives. The two sisters, whose laughter echoed through the house, were the pride of their parents, Mr. and Mrs. Okoro. The sisters had a strong bond and spent so much time together. They had big dreams for the future and desired to make their parents proud. Ugoma, with her beautiful skin and bright eyes filled with curiosity, had just turned 18. She dreamed of attending the university in the city, where she could explore the world beyond their small town and pursue her passion for arts and history. Her younger sister, Ezin, was 16 and had the dream of becoming an engineer. One fateful evening, as the sisters were seated at home waiting for their parents to return from work, tragedy struck like a bolt of lightning on a clear day. The tragic news by neighbors with somber faces: Mr. and Mrs. Okoro had been involved in a fatal car accident on their way back from the market. The world collapsed for Ugoma and Ezin as they clung to each other. They wept bitterly with disbelief and heartache. Their parents, the pillars of their world, were gone in an instant, leaving them orphaned and alone in a world filled with uncertainty. Relatives and neighbors gathered to offer condolences and support during the funeral, but the sisters felt a void that no words or gestures could fill. One evening, as they sat in the living room of their home, their future seemed dauntingly bleak. "Why did they have to go, Ugo?" Ezin whispered, her voice trembling with unshed tears. Ugoma wrapped her arms around her sister, pulling her close. "I don't know, Ezin. But we have each other. We'll get through this together." "But what about school? You were supposed to go to the university next year," Ezin said, her eyes filled with worry for her sister's dreams. Ugoma sighed, her gaze distant as she stared at the fading sunset. "I'll find a way, Ezin. We'll figure it out." Days turned into weeks, and the weight of responsibility settled on Ugoma's shoulders like a heavy cloak. One evening, as they sat in the living room of their home, Ugoma brought up the topic that had been weighing on her mind. "Ezin, we need to talk about the future," Ugoma began, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. Ezin looked up at her sister, her eyes reflecting a mix of sadness and uncertainty. "What future, Ugo? Everything feels so uncertain now." "We have each other, Ezin. That's our strength," Ugoma replied, her gaze steady as she reached for her sister's hand. "What do you mean, Ugo?" Ezin asked, her curiosity piqued by Ugoma's determined tone. "I mean that we can't let this tragedy define us. We have dreams, aspirations," Ugoma explained, her voice filled with quiet determination. "You've always wanted to study engineering, remember?" Ezin nodded slowly. "We can't give up on our dreams, Ezin. We owe it to Mom and Dad to keep moving forward," Ugoma insisted, her eyes reflecting a glimmer of hope. "But how, Ugo? We don't have the money for university," Ezin pointed out. "I have a plan," Ugoma said with a small smile. I've decided to become a seamstress and work here. I believe it's something that can sustain us and pay for your education." Ezin's eyes widened in surprise. "But what about your dream of going to the university?" Ugoma shrugged, hiding her disappointment with a brave face. "My dream can wait, Ezin. Right now, yours is the priority." And so, Ugoma made a silent vow to put her sister's future above her aspirations. Little did they know, this decision would set in motion a lot of sacrifice, resilience, and the bond of sisterhood that would shape their destinies in ways they could never have imagined. Days turned into weeks as Ugoma threw herself into learning the art of tailoring from a skilled seamstress in the village. Her nimble fingers soon learned to create beautiful designs out of vibrant African fabrics, and word of her talent spread like wildfire. The whole town marveled at the beauty of her designs, and soon, Ugoma found herself with a steady stream of customers seeking her bespoke creations. The money she made from her work went towards saving for Ezin's tuition at the university and to sustain both of them. One evening, as Ugoma was putting the finishing touches on a client's outfit, Ezin came running into their small sewing room with an envelope in her hand. "Ugo, you won't believe it." "What news, Ezin?" Ugoma asked. "I got accepted into the university," Ezin exclaimed, her face lighting up with joy. Ugoma's heart swelled with pride and happiness for her sister. "That's wonderful, Ezin. I'm so proud of you. But Ugo, how will we afford it?" Ezin asked, her excitement tempered by practical concerns. Ugoma set aside her work and faced her sister, determination blazing in her eyes. "I've been saving up from the tailoring work. We'll manage, Ezin. You focus on your studies, and I'll take care of the rest." Ezin hugged her sister tightly, gratitude overflowing in her heart. "It's all because of you, Ugo. Your hard work and sacrifice made this possible." And so, their roles were defined: Ugoma, the dedicated tailor stitching dreams into reality, and Ezin, the aspiring engineer fueled by her sister's unwavering support. The days turned into months as Ugoma's reputation as a skilled tailor grew in the town. Tears welled up in Ugoma's eyes as she hugged Ezin back. "We're in this together, Ezin. Always." And so, the sisters forged a bond of resilience and determination that would carry them through the challenges yet to come. Little did they know, their journey was far from over, and the test of loyalty and love which awaited them in the twists and turns of life. After years of hard work and determination, Ezin graduated from university with flying colors and landed a coveted position at a prestigious petroleum company. As Ezin settled into her new apartment in the heart of the city, the possibilities seemed endless. She called Ugoma immediately, her voice brimming with excitement. "Ugo, guess what? I made it to Lagos." Ugoma's laughter echoed through the phone. "I knew you would, Ezin. I'm so proud of you." "Thank you, Ugo," Ezin said. "I'll never forget all the sacrifices you made for me. I'll send some money soon so you can come to Lagos. We will live together in my apartment while you continue your business here." "Wow, Ezin," Ugoma said. "I can't wait, thank you so much, dear sister." Over the next few months, Ezin immersed herself in her work, her days filled with meetings, projects, and the thrill of being part of something bigger than herself. She explored the vibrant city, its skyscrapers reaching for the sky like modern-day marvels, its streets pulsating with life and energy. With her new life and everything going as she had always dreamed of, Ezin began to wonder if she would be comfortable with her sister moving in with her. Whenever Ugoma called to discuss her relocation to Lagos, Ezin would suggest they hold off until she became more settled. As months turned into years, Ezin's career soared to new heights. She moved into a larger apartment, her life a testament to her determination and ambition. However, amidst the glitz and glamour of her success, a shadow loomed over her, the guilt of distancing herself from Ugoma. Days turned into weeks without contact, and Ezin avoided Ugoma's calls and messages, burying herself deeper in her work, determined to build a successful career for herself. She knew that Ugoma had put her dreams on hold to support her, and the weight of that sacrifice weighed heavily on her conscience. One evening, as Ezin stared out at the city skyline from her balcony, her phone rang with Ugoma's name flashing on the screen. With a heavy sigh, Ezin answered the call. "Ugo, I'm so sorry I haven't been in touch," Ezin began, her voice tinged with regret. Ugoma's voice, though warm, carried a hint of concern. "Ezin, what's wrong? You've been distant, no calls, no messages." Ezin hesitated, the words catching in her throat. I've been busy with work, Ugo. It's been hectic. Is everything okay, Ezin?" Ugoma pressed, her intuition sensing something wrong. "I'm fine, Ugo." "Really?" Ezin replied, forcing a cheerfulness into her tone. The conversation ended on a strained note, leaving both sisters with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. Months passed, and Ugoma's health took a downturn. She struggled to keep up with her tailoring work, her health getting worse with each passing day. Concerned clients and friends urged her to seek medical help, but Ugoma brushed off their concerns, unwilling to burden Ezin with her financial troubles.